Welcome back, you guys. And can I just say a huge thank you to all of you who were willing to pray for me. And some of you, because of your comments, I know I should be praying for you, and I will be. I wanted to let you know that what was scheduled was that I was to have a mammogram and an extensive one, not just your typical. And then I was supposed to have an ultrasound. And then there's this other, I don't know how to explain what it is. I don't even remember the word. Anyway, what happened was I had the mammogram, and there were like six different ways they did this mammogram. Anyway, and she said, okay, so wait here, and the doctor will look over all the photos and compare them to the last couple of times you came in. And about, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that, went by. And she comes back and she says, well, okay, so I can tell you this. He is not worried at all about the cyst. It has not changed at all. And it is very, very clearly just your typical cyst, nothing to worry about, totally benign. And it probably will go on away on its own. So he's not worried about that. And she said, and good news, you can go home and come back in 6 months instead of 3 months. She said, because the spot that he didn't like the looks of, it's not that it's gone, it's that it hasn't changed at all since not at this appointment, not at the appointment before, not at the appointment before. Again, I've been doing this every 3 months. It hasn't changed, not a hair. So he said it could possibly be just some dense tissue. I guess I kind of understand it, but something about I have the densest tissue he's ever seen. So he thinks it's probably just something that's natural, but he's going to keep watching it when I go in 6 more months, but no change. So I went home, no biopsies, no talk of anything. Praise the Lord. I can just tell you, I am so very, very thankful for that. So with that said, we need to start with our knowing your name, the study on the names of God. Now, I don't know if any of you have, you follow or have checked out Near Designs, Neear, Kiki. I noticed, because she also is one who is doing this, how do you do art? Oops, by the way. Oh gosh, sorry. This is How Do You Do Art 2025, brought to us by The Whole Bucket. And there are some official collaborators, but it is an open collaboration. And if you want to find the digital kit we're using, it's Mixed Media Blooms by Darcy Sanders. I will link Darcy Sanders and The Whole Bucket and Near Designs. I think that's what she's called. Anyway, it's Kiki. And I'll link her first so that you can find her. Can you believe this? She's going through a totally different book called Knowing the Names of God. Isn't that cool? I thought it was cool. Anyway, ours today is, we're in D, dwelling place. 1 Chronicles 16, verse 27 says, splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and joy are in his dwelling place. So where do you find strength? Where do you find true joy? Dwelling with him. Spending time with the Lord. Psalm 90, verse 1, it actually is a prayer of Moses. When you go and you read it, it says, Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. Ezekiel 37:27, my dwelling place will be with them. I will be their God and they will be my people. The Lord dwells with us and in us if you're a believer. So do you remember in the Old Testament, they had the tabernacle, and that's where they would go and meet, and the dwelling place of the Lord was there. Well, after Jesus and his life, his death on the cross, and then his resurrection, tabernacle, which is the dwelling place of the Lord, he tabernacles among us We are his tabernacle now. I just thought that was really cool. So anyway, there we are today. Whew. Wow, guys. All right, I said that I would show you a couple of quick things. Now, I have this. It is a fabric ruffle. I just took some scrap of the front cover and I made a ruffle. Now, I do have a quick video on how to make these with a sewing machine. And I'll see if I can find it and link it. If not, it's not too far back. And I do sell these different fabric ruffles on my Ko-fi. However, I'm so far behind. I need to take pictures. I have a huge basket full of different ruffles, and I have not put them on my Ko-fi site. So you could go there and look. I'll put the link in the description box. But if you don't find what you like, email me, which that too is going to be in the description box, because I have a ton, and I might have exactly what you're looking for. Now, typically I do them about 2 inches wide. This one is a little bit thinner, and this one is really long. I'm not going to use it, I don't think. I'm going to go with this one. And what you do, I'm going to use 3-in-1 by Beacon, and I'm going to come, and I actually want to come somewhere in the middle. Here we go. I'm going to use this page. You see how the colors totally go with each other? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this glue, and I'm going to go right along the edge here. I'm going to try to go right along the edge. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm getting it everywhere. So we need a piece of paper behind there, and then I'm going to squish it out so it goes all the way to the very edge. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm going to come in about 1/2 inch and draw another line and just give it some squishy glue in between. And then always put your lid back on the glue, because this stuff will get thick if you don't. And then I'm just going to lay this on here. Make sure it is right at the top. And I'm going to press down. Okay, and then I'm going to take this paper out. I just had that there because I had glue oozing and I didn't want the pages to stick. Now I'm going to come over here. All right, looks good. Then I'm going to come to the bottom, and I'm just going to trim it off. And there's a scrap to go with the scraps for our winner. I'll put that over here. And I love the look of fabric ruffles on the edge. So when you shut it and you look here, you can kind of see it peeking. When you open to the first page, you can see it peeking. I love that. So in this one, we're just going to do one. Typically, I do a few, but I just wanted to do one in here. And then the next thing I wanted to do was a fabric flip. And I'm actually kind of thinking, because it is going to be out of this same stuff, I want to find a page that will kind of, you know, look good with. What about that? That's writing space. Let's see. Let's go back a little ways into the second half. How about here? What would that look like? You think that would be okay? I like that. So this is actually just a piece that fits just inside the page here. You see, you can see all the way around. So that is already ready to go. So you just either cut or rip your piece, and then I've got some papers here that are just out of my scrap bin, different sizes and shapes, and then I've got more sitting here next to me. Look at this. We go and we shoot our handguns to practice out in the woods now and then, and we have these great big targets. We don't use these anymore. We actually have some that look like a man. It's hilarious. Oh, sorry. If you don't like guns, I'm sorry. I didn't used to, but I've gotten used to it. So what I want to do is I want to just tear some of this off. Set that aside. And then for this first piece, basically what I'm doing is I want to make sure that it's going to fit in here and see where I need to tear it off. All right, so right about there. Because now this, I can make sure that everything else is smaller than that. And I think we'll turn it around like that. I'll glue this side down in the end. So that's our back piece, and our fabric will be our top piece. And then look at this. I came across this. Where'd I put it? I have a ton. Let me just rip off a little bit. Look. And there's, you know, it folds. I have a ton of this. If you guys want some of this, email me your address. Make sure you give me your real name, your YouTube name, and then your mailing address, and I will get just a regular little envelope, put one stamp on it, and I'll send you some of these. And I don't care if you're in the United States or anywhere else. Just one stamp is not that expensive. If you ever feel led to want to help me with the costs of doing a YouTube channel, sending out Happy Mail, buying stamps, the gas money it takes to get to the post office, because my mailbox is not right here at my house. Anyway, you could go to my Ko-fi site, the link's below, and you can buy me a coffee. All that, I'm not going to go buy a coffee, you guys. Trust me. I mean, I'm going to get a coffee, but that's not what I'm using your money for. It will be to go back into sending things to y'all and, you know, the cost of running the YouTube channel. Anyway, that's just for that. And that will fit in there, but I'm afraid that'll come off. So I think we'll take this off, put it in the scrap bin, and that'll work. Let's check these papers I've got here. You know what we could do is use these. Okay. We'll just hope that they're not too big. They are a little wide, but I don't care. Okay, so that's our pile of we're going to use it. I've got this scrap. That could go there. And, oh, I've got bubble dyed paper. That one's too big, and I don't want to rip that yet. So let's go with, I've got some just regular coffee dyed paper. Let's try and get a straight line, Dawn. There we go. It's a little wonky, but I don't care. That can go on there like that. And then, you know, oh, what's this hiding? We could use that. We'll put that there. I've got this. It is just a book page, and I thought we could use some. That's a blank space. That's good for writing. So we'll tear that off. Perfect. And then what if you don't have a bunch of scraps, but you do have book page? Because many of us, most of us, have book page. Let me show you what I oftentimes do. I will take this, and well, first we'll take it, and let's say we're going to use that piece. Okay, so what I would do is I'd take some gesso, and if you don't have gesso, you could use acrylic paint. Let's see. And I'm just going to wipe this all over. And we're just knocking those words that are in the background down. You know, I'm going to go ahead and grab that because I've got extra. Because I don't want it so thick that it won't dry for us. Oh, I should also say, if you don't like getting messy hands, I recommend wearing gloves if you're working with paint, gesso, inks, that kind of a thing. I personally don't care too much. Okay, we'll let that dry over there, out of the way so I don't get my arm in it. Now, if you look at this, it's kind of thick. We've got lots of pages here. So let's take out that. I just don't want this journal to be too thick. And what we'll do is we'll grab this and we're going to line everything up at the top. Okay, we got that. Now, my thought, that's too long. So I'm going to rip it off. There we go. Come back, do this. And then I'm going to lay the fabric over top. And I'm going to fold it over the back. Now, you could mess with glue if you want to. I don't want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to run a line of staples all the way across, if my stapler will play nice. There we go. So I've done that. And then what we'll do is we'll just glue this back down to the page. And I'm going to use this fabric glue here at the top where the fabric is. And it's in my hand, so I may as well just use it. Oh, I've got a stray hanging here. And I want to kind of squish it around because I don't want it to ooze out the sides. Now, you don't have to glue this down. You could put it in a pocket. You could use a altered safety pin, altered paper clip, and clip it in. But I just thought maybe we'd glue this one in this time. I'm going to take this back page and see, where do I want it? I want it down here. And then I'm going to squish. My whole table's wiggling. Right now, I'm at the desk where I sit, and it is one of those tables that folds up. So it's not very sturdy. And anytime I wiggle, it wiggles too. Oh, gosh. There we go. Now, this is hanging off the page a little, and I don't mind that at all. I kind of think that's cool. And then up here, you could leave it. Or, you know what we could do? Let's take one of our journaling cards. And which one here? Let's do the one with the feather. And yeah, let's just cut a strip off the top. And then we can glue that on. So I think we'll trim it there and a tiny bit off the edge there. Okay, then because we're working with staples and fabric, we do want to use whatever glue you've got that sticks to fabric. Okay. And we'll just press that down for a second and let it grab, put the lid on the glue. And then I'm thinking I want a saying. Let's see. I have this Tim Holtz Small Talk. And let's see what we can find. Start each day with a grateful heart. How's that? Let's pull that off. Now, I never trust the sticky on this. I always add more glue. And we can use any glue we want because we're going onto paper. But I think I want to go around the edges. And I'm thinking purple. Let me see what I can grab real quick. I've got, I don't think I want an oxide. Let me, so I have, I have a friend who's cleaning up her craft room, and she sent me some stuff. And then whatever I can't use, I'll pass that on. And this is one of the things, Simon Says Stamp Orchid ink. So, and I had never tried Simon Says Stamp ink. So let's use this here. Oh, I like this color. Hang on, and I will bring it up closer to you so you can see. Look at how, okay, Dawn, move that. Look at how fabulous this is. I mean, if you don't like purple, you won't like it, but I love it. Let me take one of these that's almost dry. Let's try a little more. I just want to see a little more of what the color does. Wow, it's fabulous. I love it. Okay, so, yeah. Oh, the simple joys of life, right? So I will tell you that yesterday, it was so weird. You know, the Lord made us with feelings. You know, we're human. And even though I totally trust God's word, that he's good, always good, and that he has a plan and a purpose for our lives. He knows better than we do. Sometimes he allows struggles and trials to grow. James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. Consider it all joy, my friends, when trials and tribulations come, because basically it talks about how it grows our faith. We mature, we strengthen, it creates endurance. And so I know those things, right? But I also know that the Lord can totally heal things like cancer, but he's got a better plan. So it was really weird yesterday. I was going back and forth between standing on the truth that I trust the Lord in this, and then my body getting sweaty hands and upset stomach, feeling weird because of that, the unknown of the test results. It was so weird. But, you know, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, I'm sorry that I'm doubting. I'm sorry that I'm worrying. But you know what? He created us with feelings. So he knows that we're going to feel all the feels, right? And I think the point maybe is so that we actually go to him. Anyway, what are your thoughts? So start each day with a grateful heart. I'm happy with this. Now you just flip it up and look, you have writing space, or what you have is, and I'm not going to do it, but let's say you wanted to rip this out and use it as collage paper to do something else, or you wanted to create a small pocket or belly band with it. You can do whatever you want. All right, so we have that. Now, those are the two things I said we were going to do today. Tomorrow, I would like to come back and I want to show you two very simple ways to create pockets with minimal supplies. What do I mean? Glue. Literally any glue you've got, and book pages. I don't care what book pages, other than you don't want really vintage, brittle book pages. And if you don't have book pages, it can be any paper at all. I plan to use book pages. Now, the other thing, I want to create really simple belly bands with minimal supplies. Again, probably just book pages. If you have brown paper bag, you could grab some of that. And then I will show you how to decorate a book page and a belly band if you don't have a lot of supplies, truly using the junk journal stuff. So maybe if you've got a book that has photos in it, whether it's a children's book or a gardening book, or anything, a magazine with pictures in it, teacups, coffee cups, anything, oranges, apples. Grab those kind of things because we'll do some cutting out of that. So tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow, and we'll go back to the basics with some simple book page pockets and belly bands. Until then, remember, I am so very thankful for you. I would love it if you would let me be your behind the scenes prayer warrior. You don't have to let me know what's going on if you don't want to, but if you want me to be praying for you specifically, just in the comments, put me or me please, or an emoji that's raising your hand, something to let me know that you'd like me to be your behind the scenes prayer warrior, because I'd love that. Until tomorrow, bye guys.